Okay, so let's talk about tilting because I feel like tilting is something that affects a lot of us in the Valorant community. Tilting is probably the easiest way to lose elo, but there are ways to prevent it, and there are tips and tricks that I know that it can pretty much control my tilting almost every time it wants to come up and rear its ugly head. Now, before we begin going into the actual tips for not to tilt, we have to understand what tilting actually is, and we have to understand why we do it. Tilting is a basic part of human nature. Whenever things don't go in your way, sometimes people can deal with that emotion in different ways. It is what you do with that emotion that makes the difference between a great Valorant player and somebody who might struggle when it comes to tilting. If you are one of those people that get upset at yourself and you end up playing mad, then tilting is going to be a big problem for you because you're going to lose a lot of elo that way. If you are somebody who uses the tilt to better their gameplay, maybe they'll sit up straighter, their crosshair will have better discipline, head level, then maybe you're better like that. I'm one of those people. Whenever I tilt at a game, I actually sit up and I try my best to kind of let my gameplay do the talking rather than me getting mad or smashing something. And I feel like it's a it's a healthier way to deal with it, right? Rather than just getting mad. So today I'm going to be showing you tips that I learned. I've been gaming for almost 24 years. I've been gaming my whole life. And I've been playing competitive multiplayer games for 15 to 20 years. So I think I have a lot to learn, a lot to share, I'm sorry. And I have a lot of experience that I want to give to you guys. That way, those of you who might be a little bit younger don't have to go through all that yourself. So starting off with our first tip, it would be not to tilt queue. I understand that whenever you have those nights where you just lose and lose and lose, you want to try your best to get that elo back right away. And you might panic, you might be at a lower rank than you normally are, or maybe you just lost too much elo that it's actually frustrating for you and you want to try to get back as fast as possible. That is one of the worst mistakes you can do. If I didn't stream on Twitch, yes, shameless plug, I would not be playing 5 to 6 hours a day, right? Because there's some nights where you just don't want to play, or there's some nights where as much as you want to play, you just aren't playing at your full potential and you're losing games. If I wasn't streaming, I would definitely hop off after the second or third bad game that I have because I know that it's probably not going to get any better. I don't know what it is about tactical shooters, but whenever you have a bad night or you have bad juju, it kind of carries over to the whole night. I'm not sure what it is. Maybe it's a mentality thing, but I 100% know that I'm most likely going to lose more games. But since I stream, I have people that I want to entertain, people that are watching, so I just suck it up and I play through it. But if you are somebody who is not streaming, then you should definitely stop playing whenever you feel this bad juju coming on. And you'll know, I'm sure most of you know when you're not going to win most of your games that night, right? And like I said, you might want to play, you might want to be able to compete and play ranked with your friends. But if you're just getting unlucky or you're missing your shots that day, or it's one of those you look left and you die from the right kind of days every single time you peek something, then it's definitely better for you to stop playing. It doesn't matter how mad you are, it doesn't matter how much elo you lost, you can get it back the next day. Don't focus on the losses too much. Instead of focusing on the elo that you lost, focus on improving your mechanics and improving positioning and stuff that has you in that rank, right? Because if you lost the game, you're obviously losing because of something, whether that be aim, positioning, strategic moves, right? So try to focus on what you learned that game. If somebody kept peeking you and you died at the same angle over and over again, you can just take that into consideration. Okay, I'm pretty weak at this angle. I can work on that some other time, maybe in a custom game or something. So try to take the positive out of every single game that you have and don't tilt queue. Just stop playing, play something else, play something fun if you're not having fun with it, and that should really solve that problem. Second tip is understanding when something is not your fault. Like, yeah, there's a lot of things that you can do wrong in Valorant that can cause you a round or even a game, but you have to realize that there's also a lot of things that are out of your control. Unlike CSGO, I think Valorant has a lot more variables in it, which means that there's a lot of things that can go wrong. Sometimes you get bad teammates, sometimes the RNG for a spray isn't there, or sometimes you have bad luck, you peek left, like I said, and you die from the right side. Whenever you die for something that isn't your fault, that should be the least amount of angry that you should be getting. Like, if you miss a shot that's an easy shot and you should have had that kill and you lost a round because of it, I would understand why you're upset about yourself or why you're mad about yourself, because you might be able to improve on something, right? But when it comes to something that's RNG, like getting timed or looking the wrong way or stuff like that, why would you get mad at that? Like, why would you get mad at something that you can't control? It's not like it's your fault. That's just the way the universe has decided to play it out, you know? So just know that some things you can't control, and that's fine. I always tell people, like, not gaming related, whenever they worry about something that you can't control, you're just causing harm and like mental harm to yourself because you can't do anything about it. If you had like an essay due and you're worrying about that, I understand because that's something that you can work on yourself. But if you're waiting for like a test result, after you take the test, or if you're worrying about an exam at the doctor's, just wait it out, man. Like, it's okay to just look at things at the way they are and not be so involved in every single situation, especially one that you're not controlling. So just sit back and relax take some time to understand why you died, and then you can kind of move on from there. My third tip is actually something I learned on TikTok, and I didn't think that it would work. Now, I'm not somebody that normally rages at any game, but there are times when it does catch up to me. Maybe something goes wrong, maybe my teammates are being annoying or whatever. But one thing I learned on TikTok was that every single time you die in a way that kind of pisses you off, you sit there. Like, you don't say anything. You don't say anything, you don't hit anything. You sit there in silence and you just kind of like marinate in what just happened. Now, the reason people do this is not to try to like suppress the anger. It's mainly because your brain will eventually fill in the gaps as to what happened. So if you immediately throw out the emotion that you feel right when you die, it's always going to be upset, right? You're always going to be bad. And by putting that emotion out there, you are kind of making a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if you throw out anger, the anger kind of carries on to the later on, like in the timeline, I guess you can say, right? So if the first thing you do is get mad, the anger is already out and it's gonna stay there. Like, you're not gonna be able to escape that anger because you're already feeling it. But if you just sit there in silence, your brain will automatically let you know what you did wrong. Like, you kind of think about it and you'll be like, okay, maybe it was my bad that I, stood in that place. It was my bad that I went for this play that I shouldn't have gone for. Your brain will fill in the gaps and you'll understand. I feel like just don't be throwing out the first emotion you feel, because most often than not, it's not going to be good. Sometimes I even laugh at dumb things that I do. Like, I'll be like, okay, I can't even get mad about that. Like, I try to run and gun this guy and I died. Or maybe I peeked something I shouldn't have peeked because I wanted the clip or whatever. So don't think of it so seriously. Try your best to think about the actual event that happened in a logical way, rather than trying to blame it on something and be mad. Sometimes, doing that can actually help you on later in the game, because your mental will be really good and you won't be all tilted and stuff like that, which can actually affect your aim if you didn't know. It can affect your aim and your positioning, because you're just going to be more aggressive and end up dying. So try that next time. Try to sit still and just marinate in what happened. Be quiet for like 10-15 seconds and see how that works out for you. Now, one of my favorite tips, and something that I've been doing for years that actually really helped me out when it comes to raging, is just playing music in the background when I play. I understand that some of you want to go super sweaty and you want to be able to hear every footstep on the map, but if you have your music at a low volume, it shouldn't affect your gameplay like almost at all, because I do it all the time. And having good music in the background just helps me relax. Like, I understand that, the game is there and I'm trying to win, but like, you also kind of put into your mind that the game is also for fun. Like, I'm trying to have fun. And I have good music in the background. It really helps out with the vibes. I have like some Metallica or some Avenged Sevenfold, or maybe even some rap once in a while. Anything but country. But it really does help my mental. I feel like sometimes even when I'm hearing a badass song or something like that really hypes me up, I feel like I'm in a montage and I end up going for some like sick ass flicks and end up hitting them, because it just feels so good with the rhythm of my game. So playing music isn't bad, especially if you have it at a low volume. It shouldn't really affect your gameplay. You shouldn't be able to miss steps if you have it low enough. So try it out. Sometimes I even have a playlist that I use whenever I play Valorant, a playlist of songs that I know are going to make me feel good, that aren't going to, be overly loud and block out the gameplay. And you can do the same. Just take some time, 5 minutes before you start playing, to set up your Spotify or whatever you use, and find some songs that make you feel good, whether they be your favorite songs or just a playlist of a genre that really hypes you up. If you like country, hear some country, I don't know. But music has a huge effect, and I'm a psychology major, trust me, I know this. Music has a huge effect on your mental. It can make you go from one emotion to the other almost instantly, depending on how good it is or how it relates to you. So do not ignore the power of music and the effects it can have on your gameplay. And my last tip for you guys, and something that I cannot stress enough when it comes to avoiding tilt, is to play with a duo. For some reason, I don't know why, but whenever I see anybody playing by themselves, I notice that they tilt more. And this happens to me too. I get so mad when I play by myself. I don't know why. Like, I don't know what it is. Maybe it's because I have no one to talk to or vent out about it, or perhaps because I don't have any conversation in my head that can kind of get my mind off the game. But I notice that whenever I play with somebody, I almost never rage. And I almost never rage solo either, but it happens a lot more often. But when I play with somebody, like, I'll die in a dumb way, and instead of getting mad, my duo will kind of laugh, and I'll laugh too, because it makes it funnier for me, right? Getting someone that's a good vibe is 100 times better when it comes to playing Valorant. I guarantee your mental will be a lot better. And don't get somebody that rages, because I know a few people that rage, and I love them to death, but raging has a huge effect on people mentally. The few people that I've coached, whenever they have toxic people on their team or people that rage, they don't even want to play the game, right? Sometimes they're like, man, I don't even want to finish this game because this dude on my team is being toxic or he's raging every time he dies, and it kills the whole mood. And you know, I 100% understand that. I've been in that situation before. But yeah, it can have a huge effect on your mental and your gameplay, right? So having someone that's really fun to play with, they don't even have to be the best player in the world, right? Having someone with good vibes that will work together with you will guarantee that you win more games. It doesn't matter if he's cracked or not. As long as he's willing to play with you and you guys are willing to stretch together and, you know, make big plays together, it'll be 100% worth it. So find someone that you can play with, find someone that's chill, will relax with you, and is down to grind some Valorant and kind of improve, you know, with that mentality. You want to improve and you don't want to kind of focus on what you're doing wrong. You want to focus on how to get better at the game. So anyways, this is my tips on how not to tilt. Make sure to let me know what you think down below in the comments. Also, I do stream almost every single day, so I would like to, you know, see some of y'all there. I have the link for that in the description below. Make sure to hit that like button. It always helps. And if you haven't subbed already, what are you waiting for, bro? Please sub. I upload highlights, I upload guides, pretty much anything people ask for in the comments, I do. And I also do coaching on the side, so if you are interested in that, you can let me know down below and we can set some stuff up. Anyways, I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I will see you all in the next one.